Bean Soup Times is on a mission to create dope content that entertains, educates, and empowers the Black community. We keep our ear to the ground, we ask, we report to you. We help Black people to share their message. We promote real dialogue. We provide a platform to help give voice to the voiceless. We educate you on how to shop smart. Our passion is to inform you about Black events, businesses, organizations, and entertainers. We are Black owned. We are Black Chicago. We are the award-winning Bean Soup Times.
Got to spark my heart for y'all. Y'all started off with that lesson, man. Appreciate it.
Greetings, greetings, greetings. What's up, brothers and sisters? This is your brother, your friend, Toure Muhammad, here for the next edition of the Black Business Matters Show. The Toure Muhammad, the brand new Toure Muhammad Show. We're so excited, man. We have our guest on that we tried to have on yesterday, and he's coming right back in, and we're so excited to talk to him. Of course, you saw the promo. This is a revamping, an updoing, an upgrade, if you will. If you've been watching the show, you see how we continue to add more and more things to upgrade this show, and before you know it, we're going to be one of the hottest shows around, thanks to your support, your appreciation, and your attention. It's so appreciated. So yesterday was National Buy Black Day. Shout out to Chateau, the lady I was highlighting yesterday. She didn't even know I was highlighting her, but she went on ahead and became a customer. And she is now, we're going to be promoting her and marketing her products and services. We're going to get her some publicity. We're going to show her how to engage the media, to get some free advertisement on news and TV and radio. So we're excited about that. And shout out to everyone who supported the Black-owned restaurant, who went in, made their order in the store, or they bought online. And man, I'm telling y'all, we got some amazing stuff that's getting ready to happen. We are so excited about an opportunity to connect Black restaurants to Black consumers in a way that Black businesses haven't been doing. What we're looking to offer. We want you all to know. We want to know what you think about this. But we're going to be offering a online ordering and delivery and pickup service. This is going to be absolutely amazing, brothers and sisters, where, there are some people who have slid into the market, slid into our community, and they are making a lot of money off of the efforts of Black-owned restaurants who are marketing their products and services to the community. And they're making money off of it without any tie connection to the community. So we're going to step in there and offer our online ordering and delivery service for Black-owned restaurants. So you don't have to go to those other ones. You can come to us, and that money will be circulating in our community. And we're going to offer a lot more than those other places offer as well. So we're excited about that. Stay tuned for it. We're going to be launching it and promoting it before the month is out, God willing. So we're excited about that. And for those of you who are sometime listeners, or you've been listening to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we want to, every show we're probably going to thank him for his messages throughout the years, millions and millions of words that he has given to us to study, to understand, to learn from. And man, you can't say that about any other leader. You can't say that about any other person that you've ever met, that you ever heard of, that has millions and millions of words, of lectures and of addresses and of comments and of, statements. And each and every one of them, you can parse through there and find some knowledge and information that will help you. And each and every one of them, I just saw a post that, you know, believers, people in the Nation of Islam, and even non-believers, supporters, will say about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is that you can say, oh, he's a hater. You can say, oh, he is a bigot. Or you can say, oh, he is this, he is that. Now, we don't agree with any of those things that you're saying in the way that you say them. But one thing, that whether you are someone who is not a Muslim or whether you are someone who is an enemy of the Nation of Islam and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, you cannot call him a liar. You can never piece parcel and look at something he said here one day and then say, well, wait a minute, he's saying something the opposite over here the next day. You can do that with pretty much anybody else, but you cannot do that with him. Even as he evolves and gives deeper understanding or deeper meanings, and grows into his understanding of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, it's never a contradiction. It's always an evolution. It's always a deeper meaning. So this man, there's one thing he said to us many years ago, where I heard it. I wasn't there present, but I heard it in a video, audio version, where he talked about the most unexplored, underdeveloped, and uncharted space in the universe. It's not space. It's not the oceans and the waters, but it is the human mind. Our mind has so much capability, so much power in it. And our enemy continues to try to put pitfalls and traps in our way to keep us from really developing this right here and taking our minds to the next level, because the reality is that every single thing that you see in the universe, everything that you see came out of the mind of a person. It came out of the mind of a human being. So with that being said, let's see if we can pull in our guests. We have a hip hop artist that we want to bring on today. So let's see if he's on now.
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Brother Hyram Abiff.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
I can hear you.
Hear me?
Wa alaikum salam.
Praise be to
How
Allah.
are you doing today?
I'm good by Allah's grace. And yourself?
Man, I'm doing well.
Praise
Can
be
you
to Allah.
speak up a little louder? It's a little bit hard to hear you, but speak up a little bit for me.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on the show, brother.
Man, absolutely. So let's try this again. I gave you a introduction yesterday, so we want to try it again today. Man,
Yes,
by way of across the pond in London, now he is in the Carolinas. But man, our hip hop artist and longtime member of the Nation of Islam, we're gonna go by his stage name, Hyram Abiff. Man, and tell me a little bit about yourself, man. How did you get into Carolina too? Was it South or North Carolina?
North Carolina.
Okay,
Well,
man. So how'd you get there?
I got here the traditional way via airplane, bro. But no, jokes aside, basically came up in London, England. Lived there all my life, in fact, and I've been in North Carolina for 5 years now. Been blessed to marry Sister Audrey from Virtue Magazine. So obviously we needed to live somewhere, and so decided to live in North Carolina. Been here since 10/10/15. Came here for the march, and have been here ever since. Obviously go back and forth. I still got family in the UK, so I go and see my people in the UK as well. So that's pretty much how I got here, brother. But been serving in the nation before that for about 22 years or so before coming here. So yes, sir.
Man, so you represent something that a lot of people may not be aware of. Of course, maybe if they've come to Savior's Days and been in the presence of all the believers from all over the world. But you represent some of our international flavor. You know, one thing I love about our Nation of Islam and the brotherhood and the sisterhood is that we could almost go anywhere, you know, maybe outside of Antarctica and that one down below. We can go almost anywhere in the world and find the brotherhood and the sisterhood of the Nation of Islam in some form. So talk a little bit about the presence of the Nation of Islam in London. And man, 22 years, man. So definitely there's a lot of history in London with the Nation of Islam, although the minister's never been there.
That's right, brother. So the minister has been banned since 1986. And the British government, you know, they're very wise. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad spoke about how wise they are and also wicked. But the minister's been banned there since 86. However, you know, you cannot stop God. You cannot, if you can't stop God, then you can't stop his message or his messenger. So the minister hasn't physically come into the UK to address us and save so many lives like he's done in America and other places in the world. However, we had a cassette tape, TDK cassette tape. Now, if you're not young, if you're not old enough, you won't know what I'm talking about. You think I'm crazy at the moment, but it was a TDK cassette tape that came into the country, and the rest is history, brother. And it's in the scriptures that, you know, out of a, what's the scripture? Basically, it's a mountain hewed without hands. So the minister didn't physically come, but he gave his word. And then you have now a whole community. I believe one year we came with about 500 believers to Saviour's Day. So the work in the UK, when I was there, was in the thick of it. By Allah's grace and permission, I assisted Minister Abdul Hakim for the period that I was there for probably the last maybe 6 years, and also a study group coordinator. So very intricate part of the community. Black organizations, you know, once we had a Kwanzaa celebration in the mosque. So very intricate part of the community. The building was used for every and any Black organization that wanted to do anything of good. So we would have community question times every Friday, and you know, it was jumping, brother. A lot of energy, a lot of life, a lot of support for the community. So it was a beautiful experience, brother.
Man, absolutely, man. I love it. And, you know, there is that idea that, you know, we talk about a lot, how people who are further away from the sun appreciate the sun sometimes more because they're not close up on it and get to take advantage of it the way that some people do. And so it seems to me like the community, and, you know, everything has its positives and negatives and ebb and flow, right? But the idea, I couldn't imagine following a man and only being able to see him once a year during Savior's Day, but to be so connected to the message and the word because of just that, the message and the word. So, man, I applaud everyone. You know, when you get to go to the mosque and see the minister up close, and you go to a big arena, you feel that spirit, right? You can feel it, but man, you are tied to it and connected to it off of the word and the spirit coming from a sound of, like you saying, that TDK cassette tape. So that's very admirable and incredible.
So we've never had
a few people tuning in. The prayer says hello, peace, assalamu alaikum to both of us. And
so we've never had these.
Man, so tell us, huh?
Sorry, brother. Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say, tell us about your music, man, because I was introduced to you by way of someone I've known for a long time in the hip hop game. Hakeem talked about how dope you were as a lyricist. So, man, how long have you been in hip hop? And then talk about this latest project that you have, God Has Come.
Yes, sir. So I've been in hip hop for a long time, brother. Probably at least 20 years or more. And one of my notable songs back in the day, if you will, and it's on my website as well, is Mark of the Beast, where I really broke down the enemy's world in the number 6, spitting pure fire for 8 minutes, no chorus, and just breaking down the enemy's world. And it was inspired by the minister's lecture, Compton 666, where that year there was 666 black on black killings, if you will, that year. So I've been doing it for a long time. Probably started early 90s, in all honesty. Started early 90s. And with this current project, we did a video and song flipping Kanye West's Jesus Walks, because we know who the real Jesus is today. And that was playing on the 4th of July. And I'm sure we can go into that a little later. So we used that concept and flipped it to Farrakhan Walks. And we got a really, really good response from that on social media. And then we released a single called God Has Come. And it's celebrating 90 years of the Nation of Islam. As we know, Master Toure Muhammad visited North America. And we are the result of that, right? Whether we be in the UK, whether we be in the United States of America, we're a result of that. So it celebrates that song. It celebrates that occasion, rather, of 90 years. And the song really breaks down the history of Master Toure Muhammad's coming. And it's quite unique, in my opinion, in the sense that it samples the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad's voice at the beginning and end of the track. The chorus is the minister's voice. And the core of the song is about Master Toure Muhammad. So it covers all three that came and visited us and helped raise our level of consciousness.
Man, I love it, brother. And, you know, people sometimes when they don't understand the value and the importance of those three men, and they don't understand the level of love that we have for them, they get something mixed up with us. They think that we are actually bowing down to the physical and not the spiritual and the mental. And because we've been so messed up in this country, both countries, we don't know how to honor and respect each other. And so we've never seen someone come among us that deserves a tremendous amount of honor and respect. So they talk about, man, every time you mention the Nation of Islam and the minister, you got to call him the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and of course, the master that produced them both, Master Toure Muhammad. When they try to come at those three men, when you look at the examples and the people that have been produced from them, man, you can't argue with greatness. You can't argue with divinity and history. The only thing that you can do is try to study them and learn from them and understand why we have so much reverence for them. And July 4th, as you mentioned, was a prime example. Here's a man that this was just the latest of millions of words, millions and millions of words, as he mentioned, that he's spoken, and we can't find any error. We can't find anything to call him a liar in. So talk a little bit about what you got from July 4th and, you know, what you intend to do going forward from that message.
Yes, sir. Well, personally, I think that the minister, with what he shared, it was so much. It was so much. But with what he shared, helped me, helped us. And it shouldn't be a surprise for those who are believers, but also help the lost found community and the whole world to see that he is the Messiah figure, just based on the areas that he touched on and the type of people that he was guiding. I mean, what black man do you know, have you ever heard in your life give guidance to the Jews, the so-called Jews? Like, give guidance to them. Tell them how they can survive the destruction of the white man's world. Like, you've never heard such. Most black people won't even mention the Jews in conversation. They won't mention the Jews, you know, in private, much less in public, but he gave guidance to them. And he gave guidance to Mecca. He gave guidance to the Pope. He gave guidance to the president. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is unparalleled when it comes to his level of sharing the truth, and he's thinking, because you mentioned London, England being outside of America. He thinks internationally. Many of us don't think that way yet, but it's something that I always see because I'm not from America. You know, so when I hear North America, in my mind, I say, and the world, because I don't fit into the North America bag because I'm from somewhere else originally. Does that make sense? But the minister,
Yes.
he's a universal messenger, and he's in the Holy Quran, because we know Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he didn't travel outside of the Arabian Peninsula. He just taught in that area. So the minister, we know, he said after they tried to kill him, that he traveled to 52 nations. I mean, who does that? What manner of man is he? You know, what level of resolve, and what a great soldier he is to do that which he's been doing. So I've got a lot from that, and I think he made clear, you know, one of the things that the counterintelligence program mentioned was their fear of the Black Messiah, but also his ability to electrify the masses and unite the organizations. And with the various groups that the minister spoke to and guided and touched on, it was phenomenal, brother. And we'll be, you know, it will take us years and years and years to piece apart what the minister shared. There were so many gems that we can feed on now. We're full for the rest of our lives, you know. Great guidance, brother. So I got a lot from it. I got a lot from it, brother.
Man, absolutely, man. You're absolutely right. And you know, we after his message, we heard reports about spikes of COVID related deaths and sicknesses in Florida.
That's
You
right.
know, for those of us who've been walking with him, for him to say something is going to happen and it happens immediately, we've become accustomed to it. But now the world got a chance to, because so many were tuned in to listen to him, they're seeing what we've been seeing for years. I remember he said something similar in Mississippi years ago when there was a believer who was killed, a believer's child who was killed. And he called for God to do something to Mississippi. And it flooded for weeks, it seemed like, I think. It flooded all the way up there, almost to Chicago, all the way up the Mississippi River to Illinois. So this man is divinely guided.
And it still rains there now, brother. Once a year, it rains there now at that same time as well. So they haven't been let up from that situation, brother. So the minister doesn't speak idle words, brother. You know, and as you mentioned, they say in the last 4 days, there's been 40,000 new cases in Florida in the last 4 days. So in the first day, it was like 11,400, but now it's 40,000. So this is unprecedented. We don't know any man that speaks like that. Even to say he prayed for that to happen, I mean, you've never heard anyone say that. And this shows us that he's a divine leader, a divine teacher, a divine guide and warner, and really that Messiah figure in our midst today. So we've just got to step up anything that we're doing. You know, it's a time for us to look inward, look at the things that we're not doing and should be doing, look at the things that we need to do as well, you know. So, and improving ourselves. The minister mentioned repenting. That's something that we all need to do. You know, we've all stepped on toes. We've all offended people. We need to repent, right? And ask for Allah's forgiveness. We need to step up on our prayers. That's an area, you know, I mean, if that's an area for me personally that I need to step up on. So these are areas that the minister has reinforced in order that I can improve myself and just help in this cause, which is an honor to do, you know, just help, even if it was for a day. To help is a blessing, you know.
Man, what a man that we have in our midst that can talk to the Pope, talk to, like you said, the leaders of the so-called Jewish community and the Jewish community, and even talk to the believer and talk to the average person, right, who may have been hearing him for the first time. It was so much that people said that on my Facebook page about, especially the vaccination, how that resonated with them, and it gave them the resolve, because they were concerned about it and didn't want to take it, but was concerned about if they were forced to take it, as some, you know, government officials were saying, right? But that gave them resolve to say, it don't matter what they say, we're going to fight against it, and we're not accepting that. man, an antidote of strength he just gave to so many in our community to stand up against the wrongdoers of the world and those who we know don't have our best interests at heart. So, man, we can't talk how much we love that man. We can go on for hours about how much that man has done for us individually and the entire world with his message and his methodology of being a true man, a real man in this world.
That's right, brother. And he's unprecedented because he's in a time of technology as well. So technology affords him to reach really billions of people that he's reached. And there's no prophet, there's no sage, there's no wise man of the past that has had and been fortunate to have that facility. And we know obviously Allah has given us that technology for that reason, not for the, the crazy things that people are using it for or the crazy intentions that the Caucasian had in developing such. But, Allah knew at a certain point that, the technology would be there, that his messenger could speak from one place and that message could just go throughout the four corners of the earth, so that there's no excuse anymore. The minister has people. I remember Minister Akbar speaking about a young boy from Pakistan when they're in a certain location coming up and wanting to touch Farrakhan and knew the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So, he is that trumpet and he is definitely, done all that has been asked of him. So it's really on us now as believers, to follow up and to put into action that which he has said, And as I said, look at what we're not doing, look at what we're doing, and let's move with haste. Because as we know, there's little time. When the minister said we're not going to hear from him for a long time, that's very serious, like very, very serious. So whatever we're doing, let's step it up.
Absolutely. And like the minister said, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, if you know the truth, then go tell it from the mountaintop. That's what he said on July 5th. And we all have to hear and obey that message. I'm sorry, July 4th. July 4th, we have to hear and obey that message. And as we close out, let's touch a little bit on what was significant about us in the Nation of Islam about July 4th being the 90th anniversary and celebration of Master Toure Muhammad revealing himself in America. Because, of course, we know the history. He was in and out of America before July 4th, 1930, but it was on that day that he made himself known. Man, it's a wonderful day.
And that really highlights how blessed our brothers and sisters are from North America. Often people sing the praises of those in the UK, and sure, the minister's never been there. We've been able to achieve so much by Allah's grace and permission. However, he came to you. He came to those of you that are from here in North America. God actually visited you. Like, that is just so mind-boggling that we may never, never understand the fullness of that statement in our lifetime. And that is just such an honor and a privilege, but also it comes with great, great responsibility. So for God to visit, it's amazing, but it's a beautiful thing. And we can see the effects of that. You mentioned earlier the Nation of Islam and its influence and how it's, produced so many giants. So, without a shadow of a doubt, the guidance that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has given us, and then also from these regional ministers that we have, divine guidance from, and the Executive Council and so forth. So it's a beautiful time, but as we know, it's a great and dreadful day. And we can definitely see on social media, on the news, that, it's a dreadful day that we're living in, but it's also a great day. And we just have to stand on our square, brother, stand on our square. And I'm going to post something in a few minutes. And it's really of these, it's a tribe, original tribe climbing up a mountain. And it's such a real low, such a low drop. And, it's a big distance down. And any wrong move they make, they can slip down. But the caption I'm going to put is, you know, we've come too far to turn around now, you know. And for me, that image, that's what it actually expressed, you know. We've dedicated much of our lives to this, you know. And we know, obviously, it's the truth. And many of our people know it's the truth. They're not necessarily, quote unquote, members as such, but their heart is with the nation, and they know that this is the truth, you know. And in due season, they will come on board, because everybody will have to at a certain point in time.
Man, that's right. Absolutely right, brother. I love it. I love what you're saying. And man, if we, you know, we talk about the cardinal point in the Nation of Islam being that Allah came in the person of Master Muhammad for us. And the more, even us who've been around for a while, it still settles in, and we still have to remind us of how valuable we are, because he came for us. And for our people who are hearing it for the first time, or who heard it and didn't believe it, man, we are that valuable that God would come for us. And the scriptures are full of examples.
That's right.
That of people in our situation, he would come for us. God was giving us through the prophets hints and signs, right? So he sat down with Abraham. He talked with different prophets. He came and ate with them and spoke to them face to face. Man, and if it can happen 6,000 years ago, approximately, according to the scriptures, right, then it can happen today. And we are in the prime position for it to happen. And so when we see the brilliance, the majesty, the divinity, the power of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and you want to understand where he gets it from, then all you got to look is to the two now that back him. And if you can't understand them, then study his man that's on the scene, and you have a better understanding of who he is. So, brother, he went black. It's the blackout. Fade to black. Yeah, but so, man, we appreciate you. No, that's all right. That's all right. So, where can people get your music from? How can people connect with you and follow you?
You can follow me, subscribe to my YouTube channel, everything, all platforms is I am Hyram Abiff, HYRAMABIFF. And so the song you can buy it on my website, which is exactly the same, I am Hyram Abiff. It's only available on my website. So some of these streaming services are really the new slave masters. You know, you do 10,000 streams and you only make $46 or $43, which is absolutely crazy. So yeah, we're just doing it from our website. So support real hip hop, support someone who's speaking the truth, and ultimately those words. And we also have a book, an ebook that explains my lyrics. So the ebook goes into the lyrics because there's a lot in the song, and without explanation, maybe a lot of things may go over, may go over people's heads. So, yes, sir.
And it's HyramAbiff.com, right?
Yes, sir. I am HyramAbiff.com is the website. Facebook, IG, same thing. I am Hyram Abiff, and my YouTube channel is the same. I am Hyram Abiff.
All right, so we put it on the screen there. I am HyramAbiff.com. Yeah. And last question. We had to talk about this. How did you come up with the name? What is the name Hyram Abiff? What's the significance of that name?
So again, goes back to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So Hyram Abiff is really the quintessential person in Freemasonry, and their practices and beliefs, they exist around this figure, which in one way can represent Allah, the master builder who built the universe. It can represent us, who are the builders of the pyramids and who have been put asleep. Hyram Abiff was hit in the head by 3 ruffians, Jubilee, Jubilee, Jubilam, which represent America, France, and England, who captured us, and they took us to the north corner, which represents North America, and we were buried in a shallow grave. So this is the story of Hyram Abiff, which represents us as Black people. And you have the various handshakes of the Freemasons, and there's the 8th degree lion's paw master grip that represents really the coming of the Messiah. We've had many leaders come to us. These are the different handshakes. We've had, Martin Luther King. We've had Marcus Garvey. We've had Noble Drew Ali. I mean, we've had tremendous leaders. And the minister, warns us to have respect for those leaders because he's standing on their shoulders. However, it's the Messiah that has that master grip. That's why he's called Master Farad, because he has the master grip, that he has the ability that he can resurrect us out of our grave of ignorance, because we're not physically dead, but we're mentally dead. So there's still hope, and he can resurrect us fully back to our former glory. And I would say even beyond our former glory, because our former glory, we actually fell at a certain point. And this is a kingdom that is coming that will never, ever fall again. The Nation of Islam is the kingdom of God. It's the budding seed of that, which is growing and growing and growing. And the more of us that come and help, the faster we can grow and develop and build and ultimately separate and live finally in peace as a people.
Man, there it is. We believe in the resurrection of the dead, but not the physical resurrection, a mental resurrection. And we believe that us, the black man and woman of America and of the world, is the first to be resurrected, man, by that master grip that won't slip, Master Toure Muhammad, and the two he produced that replicate that master grip. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Man, we thank you for being on the show with us, man. I think we have dropped some knowledge and enlightened some folks, and we appreciate your music. I encourage everybody to listen to God Has Come. And the soundtrack is wonderful. The lyrics are powerful. Go to IamHyramAbiff.com and get all the information to enjoy it and support with Cash App or through email, PayPal, and all that. Anything else you want to say in closing?
Just that, thank you for everyone who has supported me so far, even if they've shared a video. So I just want to thank everybody. I want to thank my daughter because she does all of the technology side of things, the website. I want to thank my wife, who before she knew me had built a platform that can facilitate that which I'm trying to do with the music as well, and for all of her help with that as well. So these are some of the thank yous that I want to give. And the last point I wanted to make actually is that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, with what he shared and just generally with what he's done, he really proves that, wise men and sages and prophets are not just from the past. The enemy has put us in a time warp, a 2,000-year time warp, a 1,400-year time warp, got us looking backwards while we're losing our salvation, which is ahead of us. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan proves to us and shows us that we can have divine men and women in our midst today. And he's the example of what we can grow into also. So let us not lose sight of that, because he's the standard, but it's what we can grow into. Sure, it will take much work. Sure, it will take submission. Sure, it will take a lot of pain. Sure, it will take, everything within our resources. However, he is an example of what we can be. So I just wanted to put that out there, because sometimes, just like with how we see Jesus, we put him out there in a way where, it's unattainable. So yes, sir. Thank you for having me, Brother Toure, and all of the support that you've given us. We appreciate you. We love you. And we pray that Allah continues to bless you. Bless your show to grow. Bless your magazine to grow and reach even more people by Allah's grace and permission.
Man, well, I appreciate that for saying that, and I'm wishing you that same success, man. I appreciate and love you all, and man, y'all a powerful couple, man. I look forward to hearing more and more from you all of what you all doing to uplift not only the principle and idea of doing for self and business, but also, of course, uplifting the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, as taught by our minister, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So, man, let's keep going. We got a long way to go, but we ahead of the game in the fight, because we already know the victory is ours.
That's right. That's right. Yes, sir.
So we'll talk to you
bro.
soon.
Thank you. Absolutely. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. All right, brothers and sisters, that's our brother, man. Hyram Abiff, man, an incredible hip hop artist. Make sure you go and check out his music. We're going to close out, but I first want to make sure that you all know Bean Soup Media is the LLC I have that produces Bean Soup Times and Black Chicago Eats. And it is through those two platforms that we want to showcase the culinary arts, and we want to showcase Black businesses, Black events. We're so excited to be a part of this resurgence of people supporting Black-owned businesses, people understanding and knowing the importance of it. And so we want to continue to bring you different Black businesses with products and services that you can support and learn from. Now, we always got to give a special shout out to our sponsors, that being Sean Michelle's Homemade Ice Cream, that being Dan's Soul Food and Cafe, that being Brown Sugar Bakery. They have all been supporters of the show from the beginning. We love them and we appreciate them. We're going to close out with a comment, well, not a comment, but a commercial from Sean Michelle's. And we encourage you all to support Black-owned businesses, not just one day, but every day. And we're going to be bringing on the owner of Dan's Soul Food and Cafe real soon to talk about an initiative that he has that's absolutely amazing. And then we're going to be announcing some great stuff for August for the Black Chicago Eats Month. We're going to be doing some amazing things. I think that are going to change the game, not just for the month, but for a long time. I think I mentioned them earlier in the show about an online delivery and ordering service that we are going to be launching by the grace of God real soon. Working out a few things, but I'm excited about it, and it looks like it's going to happen real soon. So with that, check out Sean Michelle's Homemade Ice Cream, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Sean Michelle's Homemade Ice Cream is the only place to go when the ladies crave delicious old-fashioned homemade ice cream. Their vanilla tastes just like Grandma used to make it. With over 35 flavors, all made with the freshest ingredients, Kathy has never had banana pudding ice cream this good. It's homemade ice cream the way you remember, and Sean Michelle's doesn't upset your stomach. Enjoy in-store or take it to go. Sean Michelle's. Fall in love again.
First-time customers, buy one, get one free.